Hello, everyone. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
Say hello.
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 Welcome
Welcome
to Rated Raw
Raw
Review.
Review.
Thank you. Appreciate you. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review number 73. Nothing personal, just business. Reviewing the June 23rd, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw as only we can. And of course, to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleagues. First up, he is the face and the ace of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel and everyone's favorite president of every professional wrestler's favorite wrestlers fan club, Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair. The list goes on and on. Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon, how are you doing?
Yeah, Sol Ruka. Don't forget her. Karrion Kross, my good friend, follows me on Twitter. And I think I got another one today after the information I learned. Did you know that Roxanne is half Puerto Rican? Oh, my God. You know what that means.
Oh, gee. Oh, dear.
Baby. Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, dear.
The game done changed.
Zelina Vega's on that list, too? Since he's full Puerto Rican.
But unfortunately, we don't get to review SmackDown. We review Raw. So I need my girls on my show. You know.
I understand.
They can stay over there.
You can fight back from the slander. You can fight back from the slander that usually goes on this channel towards Selena Vega. But we are also here joined by the reigning, defending NBA champion fan of the OKC Thunder, Top Guy JJ. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. Just don't go outside. Oh my God. Yo, wherever I'm looking, there's a heat warning. There's literally a heat warning on the bottom of my laptop. The index on I'm not going to say its name because it's going to awaken. It says 100.
Wow.
It says 100.
Who cares? Congrats, buddy. You won an NBA championship.
But
Yes.
on that note,
Congrats.
we outside, but inside.
You know, I too won a championship this weekend, LSU men's college baseball. So I'm a champion.
Congrats.
Both of us, yes.
Congrats.
Nice. There you go.
I haven't heard you be like the other Knicks fans out there that couldn't let OKC Thunder celebrate their win without trying to claim it for themselves. So I appreciate you for that.
No.
Romeo. I appreciate you for that.
We on straight Arizona vibes today out here.
By the way, thoughts.
Hey, it's raining. It's raining for me here.
Oh
so.
Shit, we could use some rain.
Thoughts and prayers to Tyrese Halliburton. Unfortunate injury. There goes the SummerSlam match against Jalen Brunson. There it goes up in smoke.
That was the only thing you were worried about. It's like, damn it!
I wanted my revenge.
Yeah, that sucked, man. That sucked to see that because I wanted. Like, obviously the game was good for the first like 3 quarters, but it felt like it was going to be like a special game 7 because it felt like it was going to be like a straight fight to the straight finish. And
especially how he started off 3 for 4 on 3.
Yeah. And just knowing, obviously, his risk was astronomically high. Like, it was really high. Like, because of the amount of force that you got to put on your legs, especially driving. And that's exactly how he got hurt, was on attempting to drive to the basket. And that risk is real, man, because he's not a spot-up shooter. He's a guy that slashes, creates, and the amount of force that takes day in, hour by minute. Like, as an OKC fan, like, I was like he had just like, no, you don't, even for an opposing team, you don't want to see somebody's dream just die like right there. Like, cause it's like not even, he's out, like not even for game 7. He is out all of next year too. So like that shit is like, that shit stinks, man. Like, I'm happy as hell, obviously, because
in one postseason, three torn Achilles heels in one postseason. I've never seen that before.
All wearing the same number.
Also true.
That shit is eerie, and all on the same leg. That shit is eerie. Like, that's some eerie shit.
Yeah, man. Crazy injuries, man. You wonder what team out there in the East can step up and take advantage of all this. You just wonder. Man.
Yeah, if only the best team who had that opportunity didn't fire their coach and didn't have a backup plan. You know?
Yeah. The Knicks are gonna go down as being one of the Knicks are gonna end up being. They're going to end up going nuclear quiet again. They're going to go super quiet. They're going to disappear. They're going to be Homer Simpson. They're going to go back into the weeds because no one's going to want to experience what the Knicks are dealing with right now because they had no idea what the fuck they were doing. And it clearly shows because they're still asking for permission to interview people.
When Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins are your best options, good luck.
Like, you didn't even have an option. Like, you didn't even have a backup. You just said, you ain't the guy. That's it.
By the way, JJ, you can't just go off saying the N word, nuclear. I mean, it's very sensitive times nowadays. Jeez.
And we're gonna talk about that on today's show.
We're on a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
So
No, we gotta talk about it because it's wrestling related with where they're supposed to go on Saturday. But we appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section if you're watching us on demand. Comment in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you could do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. It goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward. So we always appreciate the support. Like Chuck Berry's here. Thank you so much for your super chat donation. He says, pip, pip, cheerio. Long live Harlem. And congrats to JJ and his Thunder. God damn, it's hot outside. SMH.
Yo, second quote that, bro. See if I can get that to focus. That's right now.
97?
That's right now. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw that, but yeah, it said 97. This fucking phone will focus. Damn it!
I'm actually thankful I'm not in New York right now.
Yeah, there you go. You can see it like that. 97. And remember.
Oh well, besides the obvious of why I'm thankful I'm not in New York. I'm not.
Remember, this isn't even the peak of the day. Peak of the day is at 4:00.
Yeah. Still early. Yeah, I am thankful that I'm not in the United States right now, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. Happy for that rain, bro. Seriously, because right now we as much as New Yorkers hate rain, motherfuckers out here are dying to see rain right now.
Technically, SB3, you're closer to those missiles than I am right now. You are.
What the fuck? I just used the word. You talk about this man.
You talked about him using the nuclear word. You just said, you're closer to the missiles. What? That's outrageous.
You ban this guy.
Jesus Christ.
I use a term with fans in their noise. You talked about this man and his location. You are diabolical.
This man, don't man. See, I was trying to separate you from the Knicks fan. It would be a Knicks fan who would say some wild shit like that.
Oh, yeah,
we got some.
It is a Knicks fan on. Oh God, yeah. This is. Get ready. This is a taste of what New York fans, Knicks fans are going to be like.
This is why I said New York fans are the worst fan base in all of sports.
Yeah, I get it, man.
The Knicks specifically, not New York sports fan. The Yankees fans, I like Yankees fans because I'm a Yankee fan myself. They're fine. Knicks fans specifically are the worst.
I think Yankees are worse, honestly.
I get it, man. You might be crying all summer.
To be fair, that is true. We got Eric Isaacs in the chat with us who says, hey, THH fam, big birthday week from me this Saturday, June 28th. Happy early birthday, sir. He says, and prayers up to everybody in the Middle East and the safety of everybody in WWE who are going to Saudi Arabia this weekend. I'm sorry, I cannot put I do want the safety of the wrestlers and the staff and production and all of that, but I'm more concerned with the innocent civilians who are just trying to go to a wrestling show. That's who I'm more concerned with than even the people in WWE. They're making a choice because of greed of the company. I'm more concerned with the fans.
Yeah, it's everybody involved, man. Like, I don't know why you can't. I obviously money. But they need to simply just postpone this shit or just move to a different area, see what's available. Go to your home grounds. Go to your stomping grounds right now. Go right there. Go to the O2, bro. Just not there. Like, not where you are literally questioning what's gonna happen every second you're there.
just their whole approach on all of this, and just the lack of clarification, the lack of transparency going on with WWE. I think this might be the grossest of all their Saudi Arabia trips, even more than when the journalists got beheaded.
It's their most ignorant. This is their most
Yeah.
ignorant by far. Like to not even like hint at a concern, or we got our eye on the matter, and if we have safety in mind of our fans and our talent first and foremost, we'll keep everyone posted. But right now, this is not the best idea to run a show there. Like, it is, again, this is that shit that it's the most basic fucking protocols of safety of what to do, and this company just doesn't care. They don't care.
Yep. We got Project Finisher, who also says that here. He says it's a worldly catastrophe, but I guess money's more important. Strange decision.
I guess they're drafting up a statement or some shit where all you got to do is just turn on your fucking television and just, even if there's a possibility, even if there's a hint of information, you change course.
And Trump is not helping matters, because he announced that ceasefire, and the ceasefire only lasted an hour before it was violated.
And if, Lord, can't go off the directions of this old man. This man is 79 years old.
Israel was like, let's see how many bombs we could get off before the ceasefire starts. And then Iran was like, fuck that. We're gonna send bombs your way if you can do that. It's like, so they like children out there.
They really are. It's really ridiculous.
It's a joke.
It's really a joke that these people are in charge of such things that can take lives. Like, what are we doing? Chilla with Jay says their guy could easily find a new venue and pay the Saudi money and invite his special guests to the show. This is true. They suspended airspace, I think, for yesterday for a large portion of the day, but I think it reopened. But I think that it's going to get shut down again, considering what's going on.
That's going to be the only way they got to have to change direction, is if they literally say you can't land here.
Yeah,
that's literally the only way they're going to not show up there, because literally they would have to be leaving like today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Wednesday.
Yeah.
The charter plane leaves.
Yeah, like, yo, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
And it's crazy. Like Safed says, he says, thank goodness that Crown Jewel is going to be in Australia this year. This is the only Saudi event of the year. Like, I know WWE TKO is like, God damn it, y'all couldn't do this another time of the year? Our only Saudi trip this year? And this is what's going to happen? But yeah,
I guess these next 24 hours we're gonna have to wait and see like what happens over these next 24 hours, because you just gonna see social media posts of people, and that shit just is dangerous in its own nutshell. Just social media clips are showing famous people boarding an airplane heading to this country. Like, it's not even they're not even gonna do it privately.
The whole handling of this, regardless of like if everything goes according to plan, and the fans, most of all the innocent civilians that are going to the show, they are safe, the wrestlers are safe, the staff, production crew, and they all make it out. No type of plane hostage situation, which already has happened 6 years ago, and we forget. Everything goes off fine, and everybody makes it back home safely. Even despite that, this makes WWE look bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
the whole handling of this situation makes WWE look bad, and it makes me feel gross for even watching the show. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it does leave a taste. It does leave a particular taste, and I think the only thing that we could do, honestly, is just pray for everybody's safety, because apparently I won't be praying for the executive safety. I'll tell you that.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like, fuck, like, dude, no, you're in control of too many people. You're in control of way too many people. You got thousands and thousands of lives in your fucking hands. And all you got to do is say, hey, we're going to postpone this or we're going to move this to a different fucking venue. And there, cool, you did your job. But you haven't even set out a fucking letter. You haven't even sent the press release. You haven't even fucking addressed anything. Like, y'all are just moving on like business as usual. Those execs don't deserve any form of fucking prayer. I'm sorry.
By the way, you should mention TKO too. This sounds like it's above WWE. Yeah. This is TKO decisions.
It fuck them too. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's all of the above. It's WWE and TKO
too. Like,
so, yeah.
Fuck, like, so yo, this is like about 40,000 people, fans, talent included, that you're just like, let's go enjoy the show, guys.
And remember, guys, shut up and just watch. Just be a fan. That's what the management told us. But let's talk about last night.
Literally, one more thing. Just this is literally the case of shut up and dribble. You should shut up and watch.
Yes. It very much has that type of condensation to it.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. And yeah, Chilowiche says being tone deaf about this show as well. Yeah. It is. It's definitely tone deaf, and the fact that there was just nothing even indicating that there's a thought process of we might have to make some changes, and it's just business as usual. It's very gross. Very gross.
And I don't know how many fans have said that. I don't know how true the reports are, but I've seen a couple of like clips on like whether it's Facebook or IG that some talent has addressed concerns.
Well, we saw that on last night's show that a match got pulled, and I don't think that it had anything to do with a real injury. That's why I have in the headline someone was injured, and it's a question mark at the end.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
he's
not.
Ain't nothing wrong with him. He ain't going. He said, "Nah, I ain't going. Nah, I'm good." And my deadbeat, you ain't going either, bro.
Yep.
I hate you. I hate you, but this week, you're my dad. You're not going.
He even did an interview where he said he revolutionized the wrestling business. So you could tell they had some conversations over the week, and that's how the decision came to be. But let's get into last night's Monday Night Raw, which took place from Columbus, Ohio. Romeo, what did you think about the crowd last night in Columbus?
Felt kind of quiet during a lot of matches.
They were really good during the main event, but I can agree on that. I'll be honest with you though, like this was not a bad episode, but I understand why the crowd wasn't like going crazy. This wasn't the biggest effort episode to me.
You are being so kind right now.
I'm trying my best.
You are being so
trying to be even keel. I'm trying to be right in the middle.
You know what? I'm not even blaming the crowd on this one. The crowd ain't have nothing to be excited for. This was one of the worst mediocre Raws I've seen in a long time.
That's a bit ridiculous.
This shit was bad.
No, it was not.
This shit was bad. This episode sucked.
This is why I love doing this show with the both of y'all, because I know Romeo's on one
side
that
of the fence. Yo,
JJ's on the other side of the fence.
You know what? It's all right. He's a Knicks fan, so he accepts mediocrity.
And watch us be like 1 point apart in our rating. That's the funny part.
Hey, 1 point can be a difference between a mid show and a bad show.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs in the middle.
It could. But let's get started. To start off the show, we see Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Roxanne Perez, and Finn Balor. Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, and Bayley were shown arriving as Michael Cole ran down tonight's show. Corey Graves is filling in for Pat McAfee once again. That means the show goes up 1 point. I'm giving it the same treatment that I give when Dynamite has Ian Riccaboni and Nigel McGuinness on the call. Commentary is going to be better. Corey over McAfee, yep, commentary is going to be better. They also announced that LA Knight, is out indefinitely due to a bruised sternum and separated rib cartilage, thanks to the attack of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And speaking of which, the Braun Stars are out with Seth freaking Rollins along with Paul Heyman. The group comes all down to the ring. We get Seth waits as the crowd sang his song, not loudly though, and he does his usual spiel of "I'm a visionary, I'm a revolutionary, I am Seth freaking Rollins." He acts with the crowd. Yes, that point that they got, dude, I think that this whole segment did take away that point. He asked what the crowd wanted because he was receiving mixed messages. He says 1 minute that they're chanting for CM Punk, we get the CM Punk chants. He says the next is for Roman Reigns. The next they're singing his song or they're barking for Braun Breaker. They didn't know what they wanted, so he didn't care. They needed people like him to tell them what was good for them. Even the things they thought they wanted were because of him. Roman Reigns existed because of him. Punk claimed he was back for the fans, but it was really because the company could cash in on how much he hated Punk, of why he was back in the company. There was no second coming of Cody Rhodes without Rollins to put him back on the map. Rollins was the first ever world heavyweight champion. He was the first ever NXT champion. He built those things in his image. He was the prime mover. He was the past, present, and future. He and Heyman knew a thing or two about revolutions, didn't they? Every revolution had opposition, but he would deal with them as well. Bronson Reed dealt with LA Knight on SmackDown, and Braun Breaker was about to deal with Penta. There were a lot of people who thought they could exist at the very top. John Cena, the undisputed WWE champion, world heavyweight champion, Gunther, CM Punk, Goldberg, the men they will be facing, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, who are in the King of the Ring. But they all failed to understand that they were running a race for second place. He was the end game and always would be. Rollins was finally done speaking, and Penta comes out for our opening matchup. We'll get into that shortly. This shit lasted like 12 minutes. And my only thought on it, when I messaged our True Hill Heat chat, when I messaged Jimmy Macaram, was, and I quote, "I nearly fell asleep listening to this crap. This is the same shit he's been saying for 2.5 months. 2.5 months. This shit has been going on. He's saying the same bullshit. 10-minute segments to say absolutely nothing. This had no point to it. Didn't build any up matches. He mentioned a whole bunch of people that are in important matches, but he didn't build to anything. He didn't tease that he could have cashed in on John Cena and CM Punk. His whole quest to stop CM Punk from winning the WWE Championship, oh, that's done and dusted. He has all the power and control that he wants with the Money in the Bank. Oh, that's all done and dusted. Oh, he knows about a revolution. Oh, I existed this. I did this. I did that. I did this and did that. What the fuck is going on? 2.5 months of the same bullshit. I am done. Get to the fucking point. I felt like the Spanish dude on Chappelle's show, like, wrap this shit up, B. Wrap this shit up. Because there was no point. This didn't build to any matches on the show, really. Didn't build. We already knew that Braun Breaker was versing Penta, so it didn't set up our opening matchup. Didn't help out the build for Cody and Jay. Didn't help out the build for anything at King of the Ring. Didn't build him as a threat to cash in on Cena and Punk or Goldberg and Gunther. He mentions them, but he doesn't really have a point to mentioning them. He's just mentioning them to mention them. This had no point, and he is standing next to the best promo in the business. He's standing next to the best promo in this company. He's standing next to the best promo probably in wrestling history. Why do I have to listen to you for 11 fucking minutes? Shut the fuck up, B. Romeo, what did you think?
Oh, thank God you started with him.
First of all, calm down. Take a deep breath.
I'm calm. I took a deep breath right when I said all of that. Like, no, I'm over this. No, I'm over this. You can tell me you liked it, but this was trash. This had no point.
Listen, you got some points there. I just think you're a bit too angry. This is not healthy for you. This is not good for your blood pressure.
Because it's been 2.5 months of the same thing. I don't want to hear the same thing.
I felt everything you just said.
Well, of course.
I'm dying to hear Romeo's response about this.
No, he's justified. He's justified to feel how he feels about it. I'm just saying, calm down, bring it down a little bit. That's all. Bring it down. But yeah, usually they start the show with something that's gonna be a show-long narrative, and this really wasn't the night for this. Like, it didn't affect everything that we saw in the main event, everything that happened later. So, some things got to change here. Where's the new theme that I've been hearing about? That's gonna get. We're still with this crap that the audience thinks to. Where's the name of the group? We still don't have one for that. Like, the trademarks have not been filed yet. What's going on here? I heard about something about the Oracle. If you want to use that for,
they gave Paul Heyman a new nickname, like he needed one.
Yeah, okay. Right? That guy's got so many damn nicknames. We need a name for the group already, please. Side note, do you like what they're doing with Braun Breaker here? With, like, all of a sudden he's turned into Tama Tonga with these damn barking sounds. It's like he's not like we used to hear him talk a lot. Now we hear him bark more than talk. Like, it's getting a little cartoonish over the top for me. I know it probably like hook the kids or whatever, but a bit too cartoonish with all the barking that he's doing. Let the fans bark. He doesn't have to do so much of it on his own.
I'd rather hear Braun Breaker do riffs off of his uncle's promos than Seth Rollins with 10-minute promo segments.
Yes,
I think it's that. It's that the fact that I've heard a version of this promo. That's why I may have been a little aggressive talking about it. I've heard the same version of this promo for 2.5 months now. They've started off so many episodes of Raw with this group. And like you said, we don't know the name of the group. We don't know. They said their whole goal is power. It's like we're just going in circles. Like, it's the reason that I'm getting angry is because now I was like, okay, what's the point? For a while, for like a month and a half, I was like, what's the point? Now I'm at the point we're going on month 3 of this whole stable, and I'm asking, do y'all know what the point is? Because I don't think so anymore. I don't think so anymore. JJ?
This was the worst promo of the year.
Jeez. What the hell is up with you guys?
You thought I was
I have never we're watching. How far are we into 2025 already? Almost 7 months. Almost 7 months. We are 2 months out of the vision of Seth Rollins. 2 months, as this man has brilliantly said. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? The man sat there and held a microphone and literally said nothing. He said nothing. This, to me, was even worse than the Kenny Omega OnlyFans promo. Because at least you had some shit to be like, what the fuck is he talking? At least you had some shit to joke about. The fact that no one in the world is going to remember a fucking word this man said unless it is given to you in a notepad, the way SP had to read that notepad of that garbage that he slewed out for 12 minutes. That shit felt like the promo was never gonna end, B. Like, that shit was ass. And this is how we start Monday Night Raw. This is not even like the start of hour 2. This is how the show starts, B. Like, this shit is already at a -2. Like, this shit got an uphill battle to climb, and this show has barely started. Like, this man has literally put them in a 3-1 deficit, and they haven't even had their first match yet. like, yo, nah, this, and what's more insulting is that this promo happened with Paul Heyman in the ring.
He's right there. The best promo in the company is right there.
He was right there. If you want story time with the heel group, just sit there with your stupid fucking black pleather suit and just let the man do his work. But no, we gotta go to the shtick that no one wants. We gotta talk about shit that no one cares for. We're talking about opinions that no one cares about. I do not blame Columbus at all because they literally had nothing to go with. This is how the shit started.
And like he points out how like the fans are hypocrites for chanting for Punk and chanting for Roman and singing his song, but then he does nothing to get them to boo him. I think I've been saying this to y'all for months now. It's been 2.5 months since this whole group started. It really feels like Seth doesn't want to get booed. Like, he's the top heel in the company, and it really feels like he doesn't want to get booed.
This nigga needs to take notes from his wife, like, badly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got the perfect person to get notes from in your household, yet you are this bad at this?
Like, badly. Like, this is... Like, yo, Logan Paul never even talked about this much nothing for this long. And anybody has watched this show knows I do not like a Logan Paul promo. But at least, yo, Logan Paul's promos are about 3 to 5 minutes. This shit was 12, bro. This is how the show started. Like, this is not a card to drag them up for the mud. There is no OTC on this show. There is no John Cena on this show. We got no Ron Killings on this show. This show got
no
Punk uphill battle. This shit didn't even have CM Punk, B.
And I gotta say, it needed it because I wanted to hear Punk respond to Friday.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait a week.
This was criminally bad. He needs to have his mic work revoked for a month.
But like, my thing is, like, Paul Heyman has proven he can tie up loose ends on this whole faction. He did that the week after Seth had his first week promo of this group. And he tied it up so smoothly, explained his heel turn, and explained the whole goal is to get power and control in the World Heavyweight Championship. How do you see that promo that he did that was one of the very best of the year so far and say, no, we're gonna have him stand in the background while Seth cuts these promos?
I genuinely wonder what Paul Heyman is thinking when he's hearing this garbage. And I know we won't get like a real answer, but I'm genuinely like curious because Paul Heyman could say a lot of the same stuff, but he's great at storytelling. Yeah. Seth Rollins is terrible at storytelling. He's even bad at recaps.
He's good. He's good in storytelling in the ring, but as far as like telling the story on the mic,
nobody's questioning his in-ring work. Nobody's questioning him in his gear. This is all shit that's not in his gear.
It's true. But like I said, it led to our opening contest, which was Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman versus Penta. The match began during the break, but Breaker left the ring to stall so the action could start once they returned. Graves claimed that Breaker was still effectively a rookie, which isn't even close to being true. Breaker was in control until Penta hit a dive ahead of another commercial break. Breaker regained control after dropping Penta right on the top ring post. That looked brutal. And then hits his big flying clothesline off the apron over the announce table. They messed up a spot but recovered well enough, and Penta hits a vertical suplex for a 2 count with a fisherman pin. Breaker recovered and hits the Breakensteiner for another 2 count. Penta starts going on a roll. He hits the Sling Blade. He responds and hits a Mexican Destroyer for a near fall. But then he tries to go for a springboard move. Breaker is ready for him, and he catches him in midair, destroying him with a spear, catching him in the air with that one. The crowd popped big for that as Breaker gets the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory here. It started off slow, had a bit of clunky moments, but I thought after the second commercial and that ring post spot where he injured his ribs, I thought it really got good and got better as the match went on, and the finish looked great as well. So good matchup overall from both men. And post-match, you get Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed come back out, and Rollins warned Penta to stay out of his way, and he only gets one warning at that. Romeo, what did you think about Braun versus Penta?
What was that move that Braun was like? He did like a little roll, and then he did a jumping knee in the corner before he does his usual jumping on the top. That was weird. Braun's got to work on that. He's got to polish that up. But yeah, like you said, it was a little clunky. But when you have a finish like that, that's what the people are gonna remember. That finish was awesome. It was beautifully timed. Made Braun look like a beast. So it's all about the finish. The finish worked. Good job.
Sometimes they only remember the finish.
Yep.
JJ?
The match wasn't bad, but I just couldn't get over the first few minutes of the show.
Still on his mind.
Like I almost couldn't get as invested into it because I was so disgusted with how the show started. So I still
can't forgive you.
I might be doing the match like an injustice based off of what I'm experiencing in the moment. Like the finish was fantastic though. The finish was great. But I think it probably took me about 6 to 8 minutes to get involved, and that is basically as long as the match was.
Sure.
So I might not be the right person to ask my thoughts of this match because I did enjoy the finish, but I am still trying to gather myself from how this shit started.
He must have got triggered when Seth came back out.
No. I don't. You see, the thing is I don't hate Seth Rollins. I hate everything that he said. Like, I can separate the two. Like, I enjoy Seth Rollins, the performer. I enjoy him. Like, he's actually a very good, important piece to this company. But I am stuck on this specific promo. Not him in his entirety. That promo was terrible.
We got a super chat donation from Dion Jenkins. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says, did y'all see them having Braun literally barking and growling like a dog on SmackDown? Bro has been downgraded to a stooge in a suit. It's kind of what Romeo was saying, that they've kind of Tamatonga him, where Tamatonga is also a really good promo.
That's
but you wouldn't know that if you just watched him in WWE because all he says is
it seems like they have made almost to a degree like Bronson Reed feel more important, and then Bron Breakker to a sense has been kind of like not neutered, but he's not advancing as much as we thought, but it's still really early. So like it's still really early. So I don't want to like make a judgment on what's going to happen because this is like 7-8 weeks old at most. So it's not that old, but it hasn't really done him many favors, except it guarantees him TV time every single week. That's the one thing that has guaranteed him to be on one or both shows every week.
Dion, I disagree with your last part of the statement, like downgraded to a stooge in a suit. I don't think it's that,
It ain't that bad, but it hasn't really elevated him yet.
But the first part, like, JJ, did you see this segment on SmackDown? This was ridiculous when I saw this. Like, oh my God.
I try not to watch SmackDown unless I have to.
Is word for word, literally barking and growling like a dog.
I did see the John Cena
like
promo, which was wow. But
Promo of the year. Not worst promo of the year.
You're dragging it, bro. Like, just say it's the best promo he's cut as a heel. You are giving it way too much when there have been at least 10 promos better than that this year. Across
none more memorable than that.
I mean,
None.
listen, you got listen.
None.
When Romeo has a chance to give his WWE stripes on, he gonna do it. Don't take that away from him. That was a great promo for him, and it was a great promo in general. So it was a good moment. Promo or like year shit. Yeah. That's But
What's better? What's a better?
Literally,
promo?
the Paul Heyman promo. The Paul Heyman promo he played in his heel turn was better than that. It was effective. No. It put over his character. It actually made the Seth Rollins faction feel important. It put over Jey Uso as well in his World Heavyweight Championship run. It was effective on 4 different levels. This Cena promo was the most effective work he's done as a heel. Just why can't it just be the best promo Cena's cut since he turned heel? Why do you have to gas it up and overpraise it?
Oh, it's one of his best promos of all time. Put all the face promos too.
Not even the top. Not even the top 5 Cena promos.
Absolutely.
Not even the best promo that Cena's ever cut on CM Punk.
It's one of the best he's cut on CM Punk. It's one of, and the reason why is because it was like the perfect time for the call back. It was like the good time for the call back. So it wasn't original, but it was like, that's the perfect person to do it to how that happened. And then the circumstances, it played beautifully. So it might have more meaning than what he actually said, but like, it was like perfect harmony. It was like perfect. It literally just completed the yin and yang swap.
It was cinema, not cinema, cinema.
Christ. I'm sorry, SB. I shouldn't have gave this nigga an inch.
He takes a mile. He always takes a mile. There was a replay of Liv Morgan's injury from last week, and then backstage.
Why are they showing me this again?
Backstage, it's like how many times ABC replayed Tyrese Halliburton's injury. Backstage, Adam Pearce informed AJ Styles that Dominik Mysterio was also injured. Styles didn't believe it, and neither did I, and asked if Dom strained his mustache. Pearce said that it was legit.
That was actually funny.
He says it was legit, and their IC title match at Night of Champions was now officially off. Pearce said that Styles will get the match as soon as Dom is ready. And then the New Day came in with Grayson Waller. They entered Pearce's office after Styles left and wanted to talk about this big celebration they wanted to do. But Pearce put New Day in a tag team title match for next week against the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. New Day were pissed as they left. Kofi Kingston yelled, "You're so bald," at Pearce, and Waller didn't appreciate his treatment of his new friend. This Dominik Mysterio injury, no one's buying it, right?
Because it's not a real injury.
I mean, it's suspicious, but
it's a real complaint to HR, and they said, you know what, we're gonna accommodate your request, and we're gonna take you off TV for the week.
And then they had not 1 match, but 2. We got a 6-match card on Saturday. What?
Last time they were in Saudi, they gave us 7 matches. The Prince gets 1 extra match from the 5-match merch. 1 to 2 extra matches from the 5-match merch.
Yeah.
He might add a 7th match on SmackDown.
2 title matches on Night of Champions.
Hey,
there's more title matches on SmackDown than there are Night of Champions.
That is crazy.
You got to look at it as like it's all just one big thing together because it's in the same place. That's how they do this. It's like they'll put the Raw guys on the card and the SmackDown. You'll just be on the SmackDown before. Well, you're good. They'll see you then.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling BS on the Dom injury. Says one of them didn't want to go to Saudi, says Pedro. We also got Frantic World who says Dom was like, they going off in the Middle East. I'm not going there. I respect it. I respect Dom if he did. I respect him a lot.
Nobody knows for sure. Like, nobody's saying anything. There haven't been any reports. So
I would say he's a smart man.
I think we'll get something before the end of the week, though. So far they're advertising Night of Champions on this show as happening on Saturday, but they didn't mention the location about an hour in, and then they eventually did a few minutes later say Cole said Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and a special start time, and then he pinned over to the Goldberg interview. He literally says before he says he sat down with Goldberg, he said, I sat down with Goldberg for nearly 30 minutes.
It's like, wow.
This interview was 2 minutes in time.
That shit was, he said nearly 30 minutes. I was like, damn, that's longer than like his last 12 matches combined.
Yes. he must have been gassed at the end.
Cole asked Goldberg why he targeted Gunther. Goldberg said nobody should be surprised. Gunther embarrassed him in front of his wife, his son, and his fans in his adopted hometown of Atlanta. Goldberg didn't know when, but knew he would go after Gunther whenever he was ready to step back into the ring. Goldberg was already thinking about his retirement match, so it was serendipitous that Gunther put himself in this position. As long as Gunther, as long as Goldberg was breathing, he was going to make Gunther pay. Goldberg then ended with telling Michael Cole that, Michael, I am going to beat the fuck out of Gunther at Saturday night's main event. Of course, the fuck was bleeped out of the feed. So much for all those people who thought, oh, they're going to Netflix? We're going to hear curse words now. We can't even hear curse words in pre-recorded shit. When they returned from break, Cole went over the rest of the interview because we only got 2 minutes of the 30 minutes that he sat down. And he said that Goldberg did confirm that this match in Saudi Arabia will be his final matchup. And he asked him that what if he does win the World Heavyweight Championship in this matchup? And Goldberg responded, wouldn't that be interesting?
No.
I guess so. I don't know.
No.
But to wrap up the build to the Saturday night's main event, headliner, we had later on in the show, Gunther came out for his own response to what Goldberg had to say. And he was pissed about Goldberg interrupting what should have been his championship celebration last week. He called Goldberg the most destructive man of his generation. But it wasn't 1999 anymore. Some fans cheered that.
I love that.
He says for that. It was 2025. Gunther was the guy now. He was the best professional wrestler in the company, and the title around his waist proved it. Gunther heard Goldberg's intense comments earlier tonight, and that wouldn't change Gunther's perception of him. Goldberg was nothing more than a 58-year-old one-trick pony who couldn't lace his boots. Gunther apologized to Goldberg's wife and son for everything he's about to do. Gunther would embarrass Goldberg at Saturday night's main event, and he ended with the final line, "It is my personal responsibility to make sure that the legacy and the myth of Bill Goldberg forever dies."
Big pop to that.
Yo, Gunther
big pop to that.
Killed that promo. That's the juxtaposition to the Seth Rollins promo. Gunther is one of the best promos in the company. I will not hear otherwise. He might not be your Paul Heyman. He might not be your Becky Lynch, but no one is as consistently effective in putting over his opponent, his big matches, his character himself, and his status in the company more on the mic right now than Gunther. This was an excellent promo that sold me on the matchup, sold me on his motivation for the matchup. The Goldberg sit-down interview, I thought it was well done for what it was. He showed nice intensity and, making it personal between him and Gunther after what Gunther said in Atlanta, but Gunther completely blew that sit-down interview out of the water with an excellent promo here. JJ, what did you think?
If this started the show, I would be in such a better mood. This was my favorite part of the show. This was my favorite part of the show because Gunther was not bullshitting. He wasn't joking around. He wasn't laughing at anything. He's like, I know what this man is about, but you know what? I'm tired of hearing about this old fuck's reputation. This man is damn near 60, and I'm going to beat his ass. I'm going to beat his ass, and I'm going to kill this fucking myth of he can just come back and do whatever, whenever, however he wants. I loved this promo. This shit was fire. This is how you grab a microphone. This shit wasn't even 5 minutes. Straight to the motherfucking point. Hit home. Had a purpose. Had substance. Substance. Again, Seth Rollins. Substance. And it fucking mattered. And it mattered, and it felt like that is how he really felt. Even if he is playing this character, that shit felt like that is how he really feels and what he's really planning on doing. And I loved every fucking minute of it. Best part of the show, in my opinion.
Yeah. I really feel like Gunther really started finding his stride on the mic. It was 20, I think it was, it was probably like 2023. And the Chad Gable feud when he roasted Chad in front of his daughter. That was the promo where I was like, oh, Gunther's really good on the mic. I agree with Dion. He went to even a higher level than that. He talks about it's crazy because last year I wasn't sold on Gunther's mic work. Then he called Damian Priest street trash, and he's been a menace ever since. Yeah, he took another step to main event status on the mic during the Damian Priest feud, and he hasn't let up since then. He's been great. He was great before WrestleMania with Jey Uso, and he's been great throughout that rivalry, and he's been great so far with the Goldberg feud as well. Romeo, what did you think?
I thought the Goldberg stuff was kind of meh. Like, his matches are 3 minutes, dude. Like, the sit-down segments need to be, like, feel even less. Like, you could do more interesting stuff with that. Like, they left off the most interesting part, which was what Cole said. Like, with the okay, so if it's your last match and you win, what happens? And he actually gave a good answer to that. Like, why wouldn't you show that? Like, that's the most interesting part of the interview.
Like,
if you
why can't you clip the interview? Why can't you clip? If you really sat down with him for 20 to 30 minutes, why can't you clip it all together and maybe give us the best portions of it?
My
because
guess,
Seth Rollins took 12 minutes too much time.
No, you know what my actual guess is that he never actually said that. That was never brought up, and they just added it after. It's like an intriguing thing to add, like at the end. It's like, but that would have been so much better being said and heard from Goldberg. And Gunther, he owned, like you guys said he did. Like, he's been owning on the mic for a while, to the point where I'd be very, very interested in him going heel versus heel against Seth and his group. Because I think the crowd could get, if you played it right, you could get the crowd behind Gunther in a way that they haven't been before, and that could be a lot of fun. Very interesting dynamic.
Well, JJ pointed out they were behind him in this promo.
Yeah,
they were popping for all
this is the most pops that he's got in a promo ever.
I'd like to see the dynamic between him and Seth, because the crowd can be fickle. They could cheer for Seth too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is true.
I just need Seth. I just need that motherfucker Seth just to stay in one lane and just stay there and stop looking for these fucking people's approvals and looking for clarity on who you're cheering for. Who cares?
Dad says he's so smug and condescending. Like when he called Jay a funny little man. Yes, it's the accent, it's the level of contempt he has for certain people. It's so good. It's character work. It's character work meets might work, and then he's one of the best in the ring all at the same time.
Yeah, my favorite part of this whole thing was the complete energy shift. Like, he ain't bullshitting with Goldberg. He ain't bullshitting with him. He ain't laughing at him no more. He's like, oh, you really think I'm next? All right, let me kill this motherfucker's fucking myth and send him back to his son with a broken fucking spirit and embarrass him again, as Goldberg said he did to him and his entire family.
Next, we go backstage and we see the Judgment Day met in the back, and they were all not in a good mood, mostly because of Liv Morgan's injury. It's like seeing Romeo last week.
Yeah.
So Finn Balor tried to fire everyone up. He gave them all encouraging words, talking about Dominik Mysterio. Despite being injured, you're still the Intercontinental Champion. He says, Roxanne, you got a big Queen of the Ring matchup later on tonight. JD McDonough, you and I were going for the tag team titles next week. Roxanne, you're still the enforcer and you're one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And she questions if she'll be able to keep those titles now that Liv is injured. But he was like, well, I don't know, because, you haven't been looking good against Rhea Ripley. And
I know exactly what you're laughing at, because Finn it's a smile. You can see the smile forming before she even erupted.
Balor was glad to see her pissed off, and he says they wanted Raquel to be the enforcer, and she should make Rhea Ripley pay for what she did to her last week. Rodriguez agreed and went off to find Rhea. Dom then says that he still misses Morgan, but they don't speak. I guess it's because they don't speak outside of Raw, which is weird.
No, he doesn't call her, he doesn't FaceTime her, he doesn't text her.
He doesn't know how time zones work, so I believe that.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Cole said right out? Cole was like, "Hey, Dom, FaceTime."
Facts.
Balor reminded Balor reminded Dom that Perez had a match up next, so Dom dismissively wished her luck on that Queen of the Ring matchup.
Look at Finn. Finn's killing it with the facial expressions, man. He's killing it.
Just stirring the pot. He's stirring the. He's like that meme, stirring the pot. Any thoughts on this segment?
No, yeah. I mean, Finn's funny, and with this Liv injury, this is a huge moment in Raquel's career, because she leaned on Liv Morgan a lot. Now it's like it's an opportunity for you. Like, this storyline's going to shift over to you and Roxanne, so she's going to get the ball. She's got to run with it.
JJ?
Finn is doing I ain't gonna lie, Finn is doing some of his best work right now. Like, out of that whole room, Finn was the only one in a good mood. he's like Liv's gone, I'm happy. Finn was the one in a good mood, and I just love how you could already see the seeds being planted that they're gonna have like some level of success, and that's gonna be the out for Liv Morgan. Like, Liv Morgan is gonna come back and not be as welcome to the group. Because you're seeing kind of what happened a little bit later. Like, the strongest Raquel has looked since becoming a member of this group. And then you got Roxanne Perez. She had best match of the night, in my opinion. Well, spoiler alert to that. But they're finding their groove. Like, this group is finding like a real good chemistry that is working on TV, and it's feeling like they actually belong on television weekly now, compared to us having to deal with them for like 6 months. Like, we had to deal with the Judgment Day segment. Now it's like, okay, it's almost kind of interesting to see what the Judgment Day's attitudes are like weekly now.
Yeah. how it develops. We'll see moving forward, and we'll see more from the Judgment Day on this episode. But before we get to that Queen of the Ring semifinals matchup, Lyra Valkyria approaches Bayley backstage as she's getting ready for tonight's WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship matchup. Valkyria was trying to be friendly, but Bayley seemed offended. Bayley realized that she overreacted and settled down, explaining that she's been focused only on Becky and the title all week. We did see Becky Lynch overhearing and sneaking up behind them to hear them basically conspiring against her. Bayley told Valkyria she would be first in line if she won tonight, as Becky was lurking in the back, and it seemed like Lyra was a little bit unsure of how to deal with Bayley getting this first opportunity at Becky before her.
Hater.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Lyra Valkyria last night at all. Her character, she looked annoying, and dumb.
Yeah, she looked dumb.
She did get outsmarted later in the show. So
yeah, she looked dumb. Like, yeah, most of this, even the backstage shit with Bayley, like, bro, you know she's literally getting ready for like her first title match in months, and you want to smooth things out with her, and like, yo, let her get ready.
Yeah, just sit back and wait. You're gonna get the winner.
And she said this to you. She literally said that to you last week. like yeah, she just ignorant.
Doesn't make me want to root for the Lyra character. Like how dumb she looked last night.
I mean, you dragging it a lot now, but I mean, she has had a lot of good weeks. This just happened to be a really bad week. This was a bad week.
Be fair, Romeo's just keeping the same energy. He's been the biggest critic out of the three of us towards Lyra this year.
Okay. All right. You know what? Yeah, keep that energy then. Keep it. Good.
Not to any fault of her own. I mostly like the way she's written.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we get.
Hey, I like to see you criticize someone from there, so that's great. So keep it.
Then we get the Queen of the Ring semifinal matchup. Roxanne Perez going one-on-one with Jade Cargill for the first time. I do like Fightful was posting pictures of Jade's pictures when she was training in the PC, and it was Roxanne who was helping her train when she first came to WWE. Early on, it was Cargill who was in control, showing off her power, but also being cocky, doing some push-ups at one point. Perez managed to trap Cargill's leg in between the steel steps and the ring and drop kick it to work over her leg. Cargill tried fighting back after the break, but Perez chop blocked her. The crowd was really quiet in this matchup until Cargill effortlessly caught Perez out of midair on a crossbody. She then hits a big spine buster and a choke slam for a 2 count. Now, before the choke slam, she did lick Roxanne on the side of the cheek. Reminded me of every guy in the chat sometimes. Cargill goes for Jaded, but Perez is able to counter and applies the cradle for a 2 count. She followed up with a double knee drop for another 2. Cargill avoided pop rocks. She completely whiffed on a pump kick, and then Cargill lifts her up. She hits a power bomb, I think, and then tried to deadlift her, I think. She couldn't do it, so she just basically drops Perez before picking her back up. She then goes for the finish, hits Jaded 1, 2, 3. Jade Cargill picks up the win to advance to the Queen of the Ring finals. She goes one-on-one with Asuka for the very first time. And then post-match, you had Asuka come out as Jade was standing by the crown. They have a little stare-off to preview the Night of Champions tournament finals, as it will go down this coming Saturday, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Jade Cargill one-on-one with Asuka. I thought this match was not good. I thought Roxanne was solid in the matchup and working over the leg and stuff like that, but Jade, I messaged the chat, and I'll say the same thing I said to the chat last night. I think this is just how good Jade's gonna be, or how I couldn't even say good because she wasn't good here. She just wasn't. It just doesn't look natural when she has to sell for someone that's that significantly smaller than her. She needs to be booked as like a Goldberg figure. As someone, if she's gonna be a babyface, she needs to wipe through the heel. She's better off playing the heel where maybe she can sometimes sell when the person is working from underneath and making their comeback. But for her to take heat for a duration of the matchup, this match went nearly 12 minutes and it just felt way too long for her, where she had to sell the leg, and then her selling wasn't that good. A couple of spots where she completely botched it and dropped Perez. She did not look good, and it just makes me feel she's been in this company for 2 years now. She's just gonna be this. Like, I've watched her from her first match in AEW, which was her first match in the business, to now, and she's just this. This is her. She can sometimes be solid in the ring. She's not very good in the ring. It's all about her physique, her presence, and her look. She looks like an action figure. I think she's one of the most beautiful women in professional wrestling today, but she's not very good in the ring, and this was a microcosm of that. I'm hoping Asuka can get something better from her at the pay-per-view, but that's all up in the air, and I feel like Jade Cargill is one of the biggest victims of WWE no longer having house shows, because she's not going to get any better just working on TV every week. JJ, what did you think?
I guess this is the occurrence here. I disagree. I disagree. I actually, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. The thing with Jade, and I know, and the problem I think Jade is gonna keep coming across is it's a trust thing. It just seems like Jade isn't very trusting that people could take the damage that she and her stature would be delivering. So it gives her off as like she's being hesitant and she's being like stiff. And that's her problem, is that she's rather stiff because she's trying to protect. And there's a comfort that she needs to learn with how to hit in this type of environment, because it could either be really bad, like that kick that she missed, or like that super kick that she hit that was flush on and it was really, really good. It's a battle of knowing how and what essentially your opponent can tolerate, because there's a lack of comfort there to a degree, because she's a powerhouse, and it's I think she might not know how to do certain maneuvers to people that are either smaller or just has a different stature compared to her. And I think that is happening in the match. She got a little bit more comfortable, but you've seen too many moments of sloppiness and stiffness. But
when did she get comfortable? She botched the finish.
She hit the power bomb. She tried to do the deadlift, realized she couldn't do it, and then she turned it into Jaded. She
dropped her and then picked her up and did Jaded.
I mean, listen, I guess she underestimated the size of Roxanne Perez. She thought Roxanne was a little girl.
You were calling me out for being light on the show, and you're being light on Jade. She was not good.
The thing is I don't think Jade is not, and Jade has not had enough matches. She's just not had enough matches. Yeah. And she needs more, and she needs to work with someone and this is where God, please cover your ears. This is where she needs to work with somebody like Charlotte Flair. She needs to work with somebody like that, because she needs to understand that these girls can take it. She needs to understand that. And then Charlotte is rather at times, Charlotte is pretty stiff in the ring too. But Charlotte is so good at just adapting to the person that she's in the ring with that she's just such a good vet. Jade is not a vet. Jade is not a veteran. She needs somebody that has a similar stature and similar issues that she has to deal with rather smaller people. And I think that would help her. But it's not going to look good when she's dealing with like Kairi Sanes and Liv Morgans, because I don't think she's going to believe that they can deal with what she's going to dish out. But they have proven they can. Like, these women have proven like they hit like this. We've seen like fatal 4-way matches where all these chicks do is literally fuck each other up. Like, there's just like a lack that you could see it. Like, she's holding back. She's holding back. And that's hurting her. That's really hurting her, that she's holding back. And you know, until she learns that she can deliver with them knowing that she's a rather stronger person, she's not going to break this comfort. She's not going to break this area of discomfort.
Yeah.
I lean more with JJ on this match. I'm not really a fan when they do the little David versus Goliath thing, and David is the role of the heel. Like, Roxanne has to like jab, run away, slap, run away. I hate that shit so much, but I thought they were doing well with what they were asked to do. The ending was, you know, here's what my opinion what the ending was. Like, the pump kick that Jade went for, I feel like Roxanne dodged away from it. Like, she did not want to eat that again.
Yeah, she partially avoided it.
Yeah. In a similar way of what Alexa did with Asuka when Asuka went for a finish on that SmackDown, and Alexa was like, "Nope, I ain't taking that." That's what it felt like to me. The powerbomb, the first one was fine, and then the second one was like, I don't know if Roxanne didn't want to go for the second one, or if Jade couldn't. I have a hard time believing Jade couldn't pick her up. Jade is a very strong woman, so for me it was like Roxanne is a part of this of how messy the ending was to me. And then she was like, "All right, screw it. Just go to Jaded. We'll do the Jaded. We'll get this over with." And there was a lack of trust between them.
But also, Romeo, this is the longest match that she's worked, so she could have been winded too.
Yeah, like, Romeo, you're the first person that will always call out if a Will Ospreay match has no selling. Jade didn't sell the knee at all after she worked it over. After Roxanne worked it over for 6 minutes of this matchup.
That's not true. I saw her selling.
She did. She did.
I saw. No, she did. Watch it back. She did.
I watched it twice. She did not. She does when she's doing her comeback, and she's doing these weak ass back elbows that look awful because she's not used to being a baby face and having a baby face comeback. She's not selling the knee at all.
We'll agree to disagree because I saw a different thing. So it is what it is.
I mean, again, this is what this match is going to be, rather like not a polarizing match, but a match of differences of opinions. And I think is what SP is trying. He wants to see more. Like, he wants to see better because he knows how good she can be, but she's just not delivered it yet. So I think that's just coming natural. Like, we all know how special she is, but she has still yet to break the barrier of it. Like, she's like, everyone wants to see her in the main event, but if, you know, SP is looking at it from an objective side, she's nowhere near ready for it. Like, nowhere near ready for it.
I'm judging her as someone who I believe is going to win the Queen of the Ring tournament and be in a world title matchup at SummerSlam. She's not on that level. She's not on that level. She's on the level of people in NXT. She looks like she should be on the level of everybody else that's a top star on the main roster. Don't get me wrong there. But her work in the ring is not on that level. It's on the level of your person just starting out in NXT.
Yeah, she needs. Yeah.
I've said this before. I feel the same way about Tiffany Stratton, and she's the champion. The champ.
See, it's different with Tiffany is because Tiffany is a lot more flexible and she's a lot more agile to work with almost anybody. So she's different. She has the strength to work with the bigger females, but she's also small enough to kind of like mix it with everyone else. So she's much more versatile. So that's
let me tell you something.
Much more versatile.
That is going to be interesting as hell if that's the match for SummerSlam. Jade and Tiffany. Woo!
Jade needs to be in matches to honestly, and not in my opinion, I think Jade needs to be in matches where she's relatively dominated and she needs to have her big move comeback. And that would be her way of ending matches because her back and forth is not good. Like, the back and forth isn't good. Like, she needs to essentially like learn how to sell a story, as SP said, like learn how to sell like a body part being worked on, something happening, and then she's trying to will her way through the injury through the match, and then have a big move comeback to happen to prevail and win. Like the back and forth, because she doesn't have a move set to go back and forth in a match. She just doesn't. Like, she has the big pump kick should be preludes to a finish. The power bomb should be preludes to a finish. The Jaded is obviously the end of the match. She doesn't have many moves.
But the pump kick used to be that in AEW, but she hasn't been. I don't know if it's the way they've taught her since she's been there, but she doesn't lay in that pump kick the way she used to.
And that's a trust issue. That's a trust issue. Because it's like, can the girl take this kick because she knows how strong she is? Like, Jade is real life powerful. Like, she's not a fucking performer powerful. She's a strong woman. So it's like, how much does she know she can lay into these kicks comfortably with them taking it? Or just don't aim for the face. Just like kick them in their shoulder or kick them in their chest or something, where you can lay the force and it looks genuine instead of like aiming for their face or aiming high, because now you got to hold back.
And I'm not gonna get on Roxanne. I'm not gonna get on Roxanne crazy if she like was intentionally like not trying to get hit by that, because let's be honest, if you think
she could get a concussion.
If you're in Roxanne's shoes, this is the most important stretch of your career.
She could
right
get
now.
a concussion.
You
yeah,
cannot
easily
afford to get her at all.
Roxanne is all of 5 feet, bro. She could get concussed from that shit.
So I'm not gonna judge her too harshly.
Yeah, I agree with Grant in the chat. I thought the Tiffany and Jade, the matchup that went to like a no contest because Naomi interfered, I thought that was better than this matchup with Roxanne.
That'll be it.
I mean, it's not invalidated. It's not invalidated.
I
enjoyed the match though, but it the criticism is not irrelevant. It's definitely valid.
On another subject, I think we all agree Jade's probably winning, but I wouldn't mind Asuka winning. Like, both have a good case. Like, you think you're going to see that match anyways. Like,
it's not a guarantee Jade is winning.
Yeah, I don't mind.
No, my heart says I want all of my heart says I want Asuka to win, because Asuka and Io is a very interesting matchup, and my head is saying Jade's going to win.
Yeah, but the SummerSlam banger of Io and Asuka would be crazy.
Yeah. Great. They announced that next week's Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh will be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's because they are doing a Raw and SmackDown taping on that show. So they'll go live at 6 p.m. Eastern for the start of Monday Night Raw next week. We also get a video.
Britt Baker got on that contract, huh?
I see this
till next year.
It wasn't a pump kick. It was a stiff ass super kick. It was a stiff ass super kick.
It was a thrust kick. Kick.
Yeah.
Not hold back.
I don't give a fuck. Like, that shit ended my man's career, bro. Fuck that. That shit was a fuck. That shit had no give. That shit had no give.
You know this is pretend, right? You know this is pretend, bro. Jeez.
Like, that motherfucker John Claude him, bro.
There was a video package for Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes. We also get clips of Goldberg's debut on WCW Nitro with Tony Schiavone on commentary during the ad break. Cole reiterated that this matchup at Saturday night's main event will be Goldberg's last match, but then added, "We'll see what happens if he were to win the world title." Cole announced that SmackDown start time in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Friday, the night before Night of Champions. Who knows what's going to happen on that show? It's going to start at 8 p.m. in Saudi Arabia, which is about 1 p.m. Eastern for you in the U.S. Jackie Redmond then tried to interview Dominik Mysterio about his injury, but the fans kept booing Dirty Dom. Redmond cut him off because they ran out of time, but yeah. He's not injured. He's not injured, guys. He's not selling anything.
Yeah.
Mustache looked pretty sprained to me.
Sprained mustache. That is true. That can be serious. Sheamus then again told Natalya and Maxine Dupree that they could one day be tag team champions, but they've been standing backstage and having this same conversation for like 2 weeks now. Natalya and Dupree were upset. He didn't win last week, and Sheamus said at least he put Rusev in his place for a moment. Rusev then confronted Sheamus and said that this place was full of people like Sheamus, providing smiles to the face and knives to the back. Sheamus called Rusev the most embarrassing and most egotistical member of the League of Nations. I don't know if you want to remind people of that group.
League of Nations.
Sheamus was tired of talking and wanted to fight. Rusev smiled and said he would make Sheamus remember this. I love the enthusiasm on everybody's face to that segment.
Go to the ring, nigga.
I'm cool.
He was just there last week.
I'm cool with Rusev and Sheamus, but I'm still laughing at Sheamus thinking those two be tag champs. Like even 2-on-1 against Raquel, I'm picking Raquel. Like fuck off. No,
you don't believe in the dungeon dolls?
Oh man, did they Google that first? Just make sure it's not like some BDSM like fucking sex orgy, something like that.
To be fair, they didn't look up Blake Monroe, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dungeon doll sounds kinky.
That was awful, all of it.
Grit says, I think Asuka and Io might be the SummerSlam match regardless. I wonder what Io does at Revolution. If that's the case, though, they should give us the Rhea matchup that they've been teasing for like ever since WrestleMania. Maybe, I don't know. Just a thought. We also got Dion who says Sheamus just straight up lying to their faces.
Sheamus, man, he be drinking early.
I mean, hey, he's trying to pep talk a bunch of jabronis. So, you know,
straight from the bar to the arena.
You could probably go after the LFG tag titles.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Redmond tried interviewing Becky Lynch backstage, but she was flustered. Like she was flustered. Yeah, she looks red in the face. She was flustered after having just seen Valkyria and Bayley conspiring against her, so she left. Then we go see Jackie, who catches up with Sami Zayn nearby and tried to interview him after his loss on SmackDown. She brings up the loss to Randy Orton, and in comes Karrion Kross with Scarlett.
Big pop.
Kross did get another really good pop from the crowd. Kross enjoyed Zayn's fiery speech last week. He said he actually believed him. But then what happened? He lost to Orton anyway. Kross said that Zayn would never be a champion. Zayn calmly stepped back before saying, "You know what? Okay." And then he clocks Karrion right in the face, knocking him to the ground with a great looking right hand. Sami then leaned down to talk to Kross as he already spoke to Adam Pearce, and their match was official. He left, and Scarlett and Kross laughed as Kross said, "We got him right where we wanted." And it was made official later on in the show. It will be Sami Zayn one-on-one with Karrion Kross at WWE Night of Champions, which will be Karrion Kross's first singles match in WWE since Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel in 2022. Romeo, what do you think
Drew
about
McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre. What do you think about your boy getting the?
I love it. I absolutely love it. As soon as Sami said he had the match ready, I was like, you know what? Night of Champions, Saudi Arabia, make it happen. I could see why you would pull the Dom match. Yeah, get Sami a spot on there. And Karrion Kross, man, he called his shot, man. He called his shot. He's Nostradamus. He was like, "You gonna lose to Randy Orton?" Matter of fact, he got Randy Orton going all the way. I don't know if he's gonna do all that though. But good on Kross. Good for Sami. Got to get him on the card. Just
I'm
be still
frozen,
there.
I think.
Okay, I hear you. I'm gonna come back. What you thought, JJ?
And it's good. It's good to finally get Karrion Kross in something relatively important. Like, I mean, they fucking milked this shit long enough. I mean, it's good that he's in like what should be a big match. You know, it would be kind of nice if he kind of pulls an upset and makes Sami Zayn's fucking dreadful year even worse. And then that would be this eventual like fuel that Sami needs to become the ungood version of himself, because he ain't winning. He like Karrion is right. Sami Zayn ain't ever winning a championship pure like this. This ain't happening. Like, he's too good of a human right now in this state, and he's not better than any of the people that he's fighting. So he's gonna have to figure out a way to dig deep, because he has done that before. I mean, he was an asshole at some point of his career a few years back.
Oh yeah,
and
jackass. One would say.
He needs to find that. He needs to find that again, and he'll get his dream. Until then, he's gonna keep having fair, big one-on-one losses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I'm happy for Karrion Kross. He deserves this. He deserves this big opportunity, big matchup in Saudi Arabia.
Contract.
Hopefully that comes too, but he's gonna lose on Saturday because it's Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, his stats go up exponentially. Yeah, they increase.
He's like Klay Thompson in Game 6.
Freaking 99, bro.
He's like CM Punk in Chicago. Like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And you know,
He's
if he has a
this
strong performance, you set the stage for when he comes back in next January or February for the Rumble, whenever it is.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that. But I will say, no, I'll save it for the next match that we're going to talk about that gets added to this card. But spoiler alert, this card is not that good. That's what we'll have that conversation when we get to it. But up next, we had the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship up for grabs. Bayley challenging Becky Lynch. Bayley was in control until Lynch yanked her by the arm over the top rope and started working over the arm, trying to get her ready for the disarmor. Bayley mounted her comeback following a commercial break. Lynch cut her off with a back suplex, but Bayley responded with the Bayley to belly for a 2 count. Bayley slammed Lynch into the corner and hit a sunset flip powerbomb into the turnbuckles, which looked really brutal. Got a 2 count with that. Lynch follows. She gets a superplex and then traded counters until Bayley applied a single leg Boston Crab, but Becky was able to make it to the ropes. Bayley blocked a manhandle slam and then hits one of her own, but Lynch is able to roll out of the ring. Bayley went after Becky, but Lynch chucked her over the announce table and starts burying her under a bunch of chairs, steel chairs, and the commentary chairs to get the count out victory. But then Lyra Valkyria shows up right on time to pull all the chairs off of Bayley and make the save for her so Bayley can make it back into the ring. Becky hit Valkyria and invited Lyra to hit her back to cause a disqualification, but Lyra wouldn't do it. Lynch tried a baseball slide on Bayley, but nailed Lyra instead. Bayley was able to take advantage of this. She shoved Becky into the ring post and into the barricade. She puts her back into the ring and looks for the Macho Man flying elbow, but before she can hit it, Lyra jumps into the ring. She attacks Becky as she's down on the mat to cause a disqualification. Bayley argued with Lyra as Lyra was still trying to get her hands on Becky, hitting a baseball slide. As Becky recovers on the floor, Bayley gets into Lyra's face as Lyra tries to defend herself somehow. She messed all this up. And Becky looks like the smartest person in the room as she smirks as she's announced as the winner via disqualification. Good match until the very predictable DQ finish here, but it was a DQ finish I think we all expected to happen in this matchup, and it sets the stage for a triple threat matchup, which I think could be a show stealer at WWE Evolution. It never felt like we were going to get a conclusive winner here, so it makes the finish a little bit more palatable. But Lyra does seem very annoying and pretty much semi turns heel with how she handled this whole situation as she got goaded into interfering and came off very unlikable with trying to defend herself in the post match. Romeo,
I agree with you, man. I mean, the match was just starting to get to that next gear, and then you get the groan-inducing interference, which is we didn't have one in the first 2 matches, did we? So this is Monday Night Raw. This is a WWE TV show, so the interference has to come eventually. And yeah, just like I said earlier with Lyra, it's just like, how can you root for this character? She looks silly. It's just, you want to root for Bayley here in this situation, or even Becky. The heel that she is. You want to root for her just to see her get away with everything. It's like, like with this one-on-one match should have been at like Evolution, then you do the triple threat at SummerSlam, or even Night of Champions, but they just saved it for Raw so they could do this.
Much. JJ?
Yeah, man. This was a really good match. So Lyra ruined it. Like, Lyra ruined Bayley's entire night, even from the backstage segment. Like, Lyra was just really bad tonight. Like, and I don't want to see a heel Lyra. Like, I don't want no parts of that. Like, that's not going to be good. That means we're going to have to hear her talk even more. Like she's already kind of trying to find her way with using the microphone now. Like, she's doing okay with it. I'd rather just see her continue to try to grow this character before shifting it while it's still developing. Like, she's not ready to crowd control, and she's not ready to do all of that shit yet. Like, let her simmer a little bit more. Like, get her some seasoning, let her get some time in the oven, like bake her a little bit more. Like, she's in a good place. She just had a bad week, really bad week. Just don't try to shift 25 things and let this match materialize. Let it take place. Let them have the show stealer, as SP said, for WWE Evolution, and just let them continue some form of a story. But if I get a Lyra heel turn, I'm not. It happens. It happens. Whatever. But it ain't nothing I'm asking for. I don't think anybody else is really asking for.
We do got Grant who says, I really like this match, even though they made Lyra look dumb. Bayley's gear looked cool too. Commentary did mention that this was the same gear that Bayley planned on wearing at WrestleMania. I thought that was a nice touch as well. But then we go
finish.
First match back, DQ finish. Absolutely. We go backstage to Chad Gable's here, and he's talking to Ivy now that she was his favorite student, and he didn't want her to go tell the Creeds that. However, she should have won the Money in the Bank and the Queen of the Ring tournament, but Stephanie Vaquer got in her way. But she should wipe her out completely, like he did to Otis, and like he's done to Rey Mysterio in the past. Gable then sees Penta after his loss earlier in the night, and he took great pleasure in seeing him lose to Bron Breakker. Penta tried being reasonable, telling him he's not going to deal with that right now, but Gable kept yapping and getting in his way and threatened to take off his mask. Penta super kicks Gable and then delivers the sacrifice, snapping his arm back as officials chase Penta away as the Creeds checked on Gable, and we see Ludwig Kaiser making his first appearance in weeks.
Wow. Nah, Gable
this was
a real.
Was this during the ad break, or did y'all see this?
I saw.
Yeah, I saw this. Unfortunately,
I don't realize.
I'm telling you, this show is relatively boring, bro.
Nah, Gable was being a real dick there. He deserved that.
But it was corny, uncalled for, unasked for. Nobody wanted that. I mean, Gable, I guess he got what he had coming, but sure, whatever.
No, Penta was cool, man. Penta was like don't do it. Don't do it.
He warned him.
Fucking got him.
Sure.
Got him.
Yeah, I guess.
That means Gable's gonna go away for a while. And we can get El Grande Americano more.
Well, I'm glad to see Ludwig is alive.
So in a nutshell, so far, the best thing about this show has been a Gunther segment.
Gunther promo and Becky versus Bayley before the finish.
And we're an hour and 40 minutes in.
We only got like 2 segments left of the show.
Yeah.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah. Now is it starting to hit home yet?
We haven't got to the best part of the show yet. What are you talking about? The main event.
This is the only saving grace on the show. This is a one-match show, Romeo.
It's not a one-match show.
This show sucked, B.
I mean, I said I liked Bayley and Becky was good until the finish.
Yeah, but
it's forgettable after the finish. Despite being good, it's still forgettable because
Lyra
of the
ruined
finish.
Lyra ruined the match, which makes it not a great fucking match.
Yeah. One standout promo from Gunther and one standout match. That's fair. A pissed off Raquel Rodriguez comes out to the ring and she calls out Rhea Ripley. Ripley stormed out and the two start brawling at ringside. Ripley was about to give Raquel a move on the outside, but Raquel got the better of her. Raquel then pulls out a table and sets it up in the ring. Ripley then gets the better of her with a big headbutt. She's about to give her the riptide when Raquel Rodriguez comes out and gets on her shoulder. Ripley puts her up on her shoulder in an electric chair and then drops her on the top rope, allowing for Raquel to get the better of Ripley and deliver the Tejada bomb through the table. Raquel stands tall and then sees that Perez is in the corner, realizing that she helped her out here. And the two finally bond for the first time as Raquel hugs Roxanne and the two ladies from Texas stand over Rhea. We come back from a commercial break and we see in the back that Rhea Ripley barges into Adam Pearce's office. He says that he saw what happened. He sounds like they should have a street fight. And Rhea Ripley says, that's official. And he says, I couldn't say it better myself. And then we tend to find out by commentary that this matchup will also go down in Saudi Arabia. At Saudi Arabia, this coming Saturday at Night of Champions, it's Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. This was a solid enough segment to set up the matchup at Night of Champions. It feels very much thrown out there. I feel like if it wasn't for whoever decided to not want to go to Saudi Arabia between Dom and AJ, this match would be a Raw match, 100%. JJ?
I mean, yeah, the table spot was fine. Like that was fine. It's good to see the little seeds getting planted for Liv Morgan's exit from this group already. They already started to plan this shit week 1. Jesus Christ, like this woman can't even sit on the couch long enough and they're already planning her exit. It's crazy. But, you know, it was, hey, you got to give Raquel her opportunity. This is her opportunity to look really strong and really good and be a dominant force in the group. So, you know, let's see what happens. Let's see if she can overcome Super Ripley.
She's definitely not beating Rhea Ripley at Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia.
she's definitely not, but, you know, that was the most pep talk I can give her. But, you know.
Romeo?
You should just call this Night of Champions something else. Like, call it the Great Big Saudi Bash. Call it Bombs Over Baghdad. Whatever. Come up with something.
Oh, shit!
Look, it's got 2 championship matches.
Nah, son, nah. Like, nah, I'm moving for a quick sec, bro. Like, nah.
Bombs over Baghdad. Yeah. Don't make the bang out until they can get the copyright for that, right? Bombs over Baghdad.
This is anything but Night of Champions. You know? And let me tell you another thing. I like the way AEW did it with
This nigga is too much, bro.
I like the way AEW did it with the Owen Cup, and like you have your final set up, and it's about, you know, still like weeks away from the actual pay-per-view where they do battle.
Because they actually get a build to the matchup.
Yeah, with the King and Queen of the Ring, we have 1 week. Like you getting Cody and Randy, and 1 week of build, like less than a week. Like Oscar Jade, I understand.
Get one episode of SmackDown to build it up for the next day.
Do not let that shit go over y'all heads.
No. Falls over Baghdad. Yeah, don't bang out.
The fact that just you could tell that was on the brain because it just came out so effortlessly. It was just without he didn't even try. He didn't even lead into it. It wasn't even a lead. It was there and it just
pooped out of his brain. Oh man, yeah. I literally was like, I thought I was with Jimmy McElroy right there. I was like, where's the disclaimer? Goddamn.
Anywho.
And then you fucking got on my case at the beginning of the show when I said nuclear silence.
You really did. He really did. Yo, this card for Night of Champions is not good.
No, this card is a straight Saturday night's main event.
Like, two of the matches would have been better suited on Raw. The two matches that they named on the show with Karrion Kross and Sammy, as well as especially Raquel versus Rhea. That's a Raw matchup. At least Sammy and Kross has been building it for months. Then you got Jade versus Asuka, which even y'all that enjoyed Jade versus Roxanne, y'all can admit that that's not guaranteed that's going to be good.
No,
the only match that,
but it's fascinating to want to watch, to see.
Solo and Jacob Fatu have a great story, but there's no guarantee that's going to be good.
Solo's in the match, so it's going to be really good.
I believe in them.
I believe in Jacob, but he's a one man.
The only one that will have majority of belief going in that it's going to be good, maybe even great, maybe even a match of the year candidate if they're really cooking, is Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Because if you think John Cena is guaranteed to have a good match, even with CM Punk after the 2025 he's had, God bless you and your optimism, because I don't have it.
No,
like if Cena's not on his game and doesn't have a good matchup, this is going to be the worst in-ring PLE of the year.
That'll be impressive if Punk gets a good match out of big match, John.
Thank you. Happy Taco Tuesday to you, Link.
Cody, Randy, I'll put my chips on that.
Today's a good day for some tacos too.
Yeah. That's gonna be good to great for sure. But like you said, there's also the overarching problem with that is that you're getting Cody and Randy on one episode build. There were photos of the Florida team, Panthers, celebrating with their custom WWE championships after winning the Stanley Cup. Then we get Kathy Kelly during the ad break. Yes, the ad break. We get Asuka, who's getting a interview, and she's interrupted by WWE Women's World Champion Io Sky. She joins her and was excited for Asuka because they may finally get to meet in the ring like they always talked about in Damage Control, just completely ignoring that they have faced before for the WWE Women's Championship in the past. Asuka says that they weren't in Damage Control anymore and she would see her at SummerSlam, and Sky simply responded she would be ready.
Yep.
Can we have a serious conversation on how bad Triple H has booked Io Sky since WrestleMania?
Absolutely disrespectful that this is on an ad break.
Yo, he has I don't understand how Triple H can see Io Sky deliver one of the greatest single performances in a WrestleMania match, and by far the best women's WrestleMania match of all time, and say, you know what? Let's not have her defend her title anymore for the next 2.5 months. It's egregious.
Definitely got bad luck with the Liv injury. That's for sure. At least that part. This segment should have replaced the Penta Gable segment.
It's this This is literally what this championship is becoming to the bookers of Monday Night Raw, especially guys like Triple H. It's like almost like he's forgotten that she's champion.
Becky's title's more important.
Like Roxanne Perez, with all respect due to her, because she's phenomenal, has had more matches on Monday Night Raw than Io Sky since she's been champion.
Kairi Sane's had more matches. And she just
And
came back.
she hasn't even had a lot. She's had maybe 5. Like Io Sky has so it's like this is like the Raw featuring it's like featuring Io Sky at times. Like you see the men's world champion every week, and you get maybe an eyeball glimpse of the women's world champion maybe every other week. And then when it's time for her to have a match, you'll see her twice in a row.
It's
This
so
is not
weird.
even like, you can't even judge the title reign because there really hasn't even been one.
But this is like, someone made a good point. I think it was Jimmy, and then someone else made a point on Twitter when I said the same thing, because I think earlier today, I saw a post talking about how Becky Lynch, someone felt like Becky Lynch had been having like a woman's wrestler of the year campaign since she's been back. And I actually agreed with that. I was like, I actually would probably put a Becky above every other woman in WWE because she's at least been consistently booked since her return. But I put Io Sky below Becky and Stephanie Vicaire when it came to just WWE
No
women.
wonder why I can't stand the show.
Yeah, no Stephanie Vicaire.
Yo, this show has lost so many points. Whatever.
But like it's literally because that Triple H has purposely like not booked Io well since WrestleMania.
Even Romeo,
it's egregious.
Even Romeo,
Yo, he is.
even Romeo's over it. Even Romeo's over it.
Romeo just is fed up. He's fed up with Triple H. He can't even defend his boy.
Yo,
his boy.
that's a perfect still shot right there. What you thought of Raw? Yo, this show sucked, B. Oh, sucked. Like, oh my God. I guess y'all already know where my thumb is going to end up going. Pause.
Fair.
But good Lord.
But yeah.
Thank God we're about to hit the main event.
Yeah, it's main event time. We got Davion who says, I've been wondering why Io ain't been wrestling as of late. I mean, I would love to hear that like she's like hurt or something. That's the reason, but like it's kind of ridiculous at this point. But let's get to that main event, the King of the Ring semifinal matchup. It is Jey Uso going one-on-one with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Both men get big reactions as they make their entrances. They face off for about 30 seconds before shaking hands, and this was a first time ever singles matchup, and it felt like a big deal given the stakes and the crowd response. Jey blocked a crossroads just 3 minutes into the matchup. He went for a super kick, but Cody was able to avoid it. Jey missed a running hip attack during a break, and then Rhodes applied a figure 4 until Jey was able to make the ropes. They exchanged strikes until Jey hit a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Jey hit a running hip attack and went for an Uso splash, but Cody was able to get his knees up. Caught Jey in a version of the Kimura lock, a throwback to his feud with Brock Lesnar in 2023. Jey was able to slip out of that, and he applied a sleeper hold, a callback to his feud earlier this year with Gunther. Rhodes began fading, but got to his feet and then dumped Jey over the top rope. Jey blocked Cody on a a suicide dive and went to the top rope, but Cody scaled the top rope and hits a superplex before we go to a second commercial break. Jey tossed Rhodes shoulder first into the ring post and followed with a flying crossbody for 2. They exchanged strikes as we returned from commercial break. Rhodes hits jabs, but Jey avoided a bionic elbow. Rhodes fired up, but Jey hit a Randy Orton-esque power slam, showing some homage to the man that he plans on facing in the finals. Jey set up for a crossroads, but Cody blocked it and hits a Cody cutter for a 2. Jey avoided the disaster kick and then hits a spear, and he gets a 2. Cody comes off the top rope and he hits a big top rope super Cody cutter onto Jey this time. Then he kicks out at 2. Jey countered a crossroads and then hits one of his own for a close 2 count. The people were on their feet at this point. Jey starts hitting Cody with a super kick party, super kick after super kick after super kick. He pulls him to his feet and hits a spear. Instead of going for the cover, though, he sets him up. He goes for the top rope for a big Uso splash, but Cody scales the ropes, and again he hits a super Cody cutter, but more like a RKO off the top rope. Cody is fired up. He lifts up Jey, delivers one last crossroads, just one. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes advances to the King of the Ring final, where he will face his mentor, his friend, Randy Orton this Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Cody and Jey, they embrace post-match. Cody gets his hand raised as the two men show respect to one another. They shake hands and hug, and Jey raises Cody's hand ahead of the King of the Ring final. This was a terrific main event. One of the better main events, the Monday Night Raw, in a while. I thought they went out there. It had high stakes. It had high drama. The crowd was into it, and they really created enough drama and emotion that the crowd was actually on the edge of their seat for this matchup, despite the outcome seeming very predictable and never in doubt to me. I thought that they did a great job of the near falls, and it felt like a pay-per-view matchup with Jey pulling out the crossroads on Cody hitting 3 versions of the Cody cutter, only hitting 1 crossroads to get the win. This was exactly the right tone, exactly the right finish, and they really delivered. They left it all in the ring. Excellent matchup here. JJ, what did you think?
Yeah, this was a really good match. I'm really glad that it finished clean, solid, no bullshit. Good back and forth. This is one of Jey Uso's best matches that I've seen in a one-on-one atmosphere. So this was really good. Obviously I know this is WWE style, but there was just I guess my only critique was that there was so many mid-match pauses after moves. But after that, but the setups was really good. Good story throughout the match. Good messaging. So I did enjoy the chemistry that these two had. Really good, solid match for Cody as well, because boy, Cody has been through some shit with some John Cena matches, and it is God. So it's good to see him get a good one under his belt, a really good one. And looking forward to the match with Randy Orton, because that should be really good. But yeah. So really, really rough episode, but pretty good ending. So it was pretty good, solid, no shenanigans, nothing no foolery. Just a better man won, close out the show. So props to that, because that's very uncommon in this stage of the Paul Levesque booked Monday Night Raws.
We got Romeo, who's letting us know his power flickered off. It's too hot. Y'all can finish without me. No worries, good brother. We'll hold down the fort. He also says, 99. Match of the night, he gives to Jay and Cody. MVP Cody, LVP Sheamus. Thumbs up and a 7 out of 10 for him. And he also gives us a breaking news per bodyslam.net. Chad Gable has a dislocated shoulder injury, and the segment was written to write him off temporarily.
God damn, we're not gonna get El Grande Americano anymore either for a while. Damn.
Nah.
That would be a miracle if we got a Grande Americano appearance now.
Hey, it would prove his point that it's not him. But we've made it to the end of another edition of Rated Raw Review. Y'all know the deal. Let us know in the chat whether you gave this show a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a thumbs in the middle. Out of 10, what did you give the show? Your MVP, LVP, and match of the night and moment of the night for me and Top Guy JJ for the June 23rd, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle for me. Thumbs down for Top Guy JJ. JJ, what did you give the show out of 10?
I give it a 5.5.
I'm like 1 point higher than you. I give it a
5.5.
I give it a 6.5 out of 10. And the main event definitely saved it from thumbs down.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't do enough for me because this show I hated. But yeah, I have nothing good to say about this show except Gunther and the main event.
Those are the only thing that was great on the show. I thought there was other good stuff like Becky and Bayley. That was a good matchup. The stuff during the ad break I thought was good, and the Judgment Day stuff was good on this show. Set up for Rhea and Raquel, that was good. But like, yeah, the overwhelming feeling of this just feeling like a flat go home show until the main event. That's why it just has to be mid. It has to be thumbs in the middle. So that's why I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Match of the night, easily Cody versus Jey.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't really any other good matches on the show. So, I mean, it would have been Becky and Bayley if Lyra didn't fuck that whole thing up. But yeah, they didn't have much of a bar to beat. So, yeah. But it was still a really good match. But they just didn't have any other matches to really compete against.
MVP and moment of the night both go to Gunther. Gunther's promo was the moment of the night. Gunther was my MVP. JJ?
Exactly. That's my exact thoughts. Gunther was my MVP because he was one of the only reasons I even gave the show a 5.5. Because without Gunther, this shit could have been a 4.
And LVP for the show is definitely Seth Rollins.
Oh, a fucking 100%. Seth is why the show was a 5.5 for me. Seth ruined the show from the start for me. So yeah, and this is a night that Lyra should have gotten LVP. Lyra should have been LVP, but she didn't ruin the show for me. Seth Rollins did that.
And yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up earlier is that Triple H has not booked like any of the women's world champions well in like a year. Like, remember when Rhea was champion in 2023 and she would barely wrestle and the only reason that her reign got better like towards 2024 was because of Nia Jax and her return and her looking good on her return, and then the feud with Becky heading into WrestleMania. Then the Liv rivalry, the Liv reign, that was good when Rhea comes back, but the early portion when she's feuding with Zelina wasn't good. She would barely be wrestling towards the end of the year, and it didn't end that very well. Rhea's second reign as women's world champion was not good because it just ends like 2 months after she won the title and she had barely wrestled before then. And now Io Sky, she has a match of the year candidate at WrestleMania, and then he just says you're not going to wrestle anymore. He has not booked not one of these women's world, and I didn't even bring up the Becky Lynch 2-week reign. Like, he has not booked any of these women's world champions well in like 2 years.
Because they're afterthoughts. They're afterthoughts. They're part of the show. They're not the show. And it's sad because it's literally how it plays out.
Fair.
Like, he has literally the best women's roster at the palm of his fucking hands, and they're always a part of the show, and they're not featured for the show at all. Like, we're not asking for the women to be featured every week on the show, but there could at least be a 70-30 balance. Like, there could at least be that. Like, there could be a night where the women have been featured on the show where they have the talent to have main eventers on their show that leads into pay-per-views, and they could be part of a double main event. But, you know, they can't get their head out of their ass, and they can't fucking figure out a way to not have both champions be important. It has to be one or the other.
Very true. Very true. Well, that means we made it to the end of Rated Raw Review. If you haven't already, remember to drop the thumbs up on the video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. If you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below what you thought about this week's Monday Night Raw. Top Guy JJ, thank you as always for joining us. Please let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
On Instagram, you can find me, _Top Guy JJ. And the next time I will be on this channel should be next week. I think next Tuesday I'm good for the Rated Raw Review. And again, for the True Heel Heat podcast, it will be that Saturday, July. It's coming. Where's my fucking calendar? July 12th would be my appearance for True Heel Heat. For the month of July, it'd be July 12th, but I should be here for the July 1st edition of Rated Raw Review.
That is All In Saturday. All In and Great American Bash and Saturday night's main event. Saturday. He'll be joining us.
Like a 10 a.m. start.
Yeah, we're starting at 10 a.m. for sure. all in starts at 3. Yeah, I want to be done and dusted.
That sounds like a 10 a.m. start. Yeah. All right.
But yes. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. We'll be dropping our 3rd episode of the Okada versus Omega series, where me and Jimmy Macaran rewatching the entire rivalry, where we watched G1 Climax 27, their 3rd matchup of 2017. So that's going to be dropping on Patreon either later today or tomorrow, so check that out. I will be live here tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, with our WWE Night of Champions preview. I'll be joined by the always lovely, the always hilarious Maggie, so join us for that as we preview the card this coming Saturday in Saudi Arabia. You got AE Ramble on Thursday. We'll have a THH Cut on Friday, and then on Saturday we got our WWE Night of Champions review, post-show review, where right after the show ends, I'll be live here to review it all with you. So join us for that. And then Sunday, the flagship podcast starting at 11:05 a.m. Eastern time.
I was wondering. I was like, where's True Hill he gonna fit into this weekend?
Sunday. But for Top Guy JJ, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 73. Nothing personal, just business. For the June 23rd, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw, we are signing off until next time.
Yeah, nothing personal, but God, this show sucked.